The Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It is a part of 3 pyramids that were originally built around 4,000 years ago. The pyramids of Giza are amazingly well preserved and have a rich history. These giant tombs were built to hold ancient kings who were revered as gods in Egyptian society. Known as Old Kingdom, the pharaohs were thought to be mediators between humans and gods. In fact, the pharaohs were believed to become gods after their deaths. Therefore, the pyramids were built so that the preserved bodies of the pharaohs, which held their souls and his possessions, could travel with him into the afterlife. The Great Pyramid of Giza, which is the oldest of the 3 pyramids, was built for the pharaoh Khufu. His pyramid is the largest in the world and used to be 750 feet wide and nearly 500 feet tall. It consists of nearly 2.3 million blocks, weighing at 7 tons each. It used to be encased in white limestone so that the surface would shine. The pyramid took 23 years to create, which, measured out by archaeologists, meant that each block had to be positioned every 2.5 minutes, 7 days out of the week. The middle pyramid, built for Khufu's son, Khafre, houses the Great Sphinx. The last pyramid, which was built for Khufu's grandson, Menkaure, is the smallest of the Giza pyramids. Eventually, the popularity of pyramid building declined, but ancient texts on tomb walls and treasures still remain. In the end, the Egyptians built over 100 pyramids for their pharaohs.
Hello, my name is Liliana Masso, and I will be talking about when the invention of the pyramids took place and other historical and political events going on during this time. The first Giza pyramid project was started by Pharaoh Khufu around 2550 BC. The second pyramid at Giza was built by Khufu's son, Pharaoh Khafre, circa 2520 BC. His necropolis included the Sphinx, which is a mysterious limestone monument with the body of a lion and a pharaoh's head. The third of the Giza pyramid is smaller than the other 2, built by Pharaoh Menkaure, circa 2490 BC. The ancient engineering feats at Giza were so impressive that scientists are not sure how they were built, yet they have learned so much about the people who built them and the political power necessary to make it happen. They were skilled workers who lived in a nearby city. They were a highly organized community, rich in resources, backed by a strong central authority, such as the pharaohs. All 3 pyramids and their burial complexes were built during a hectic period of construction from 2550 to 2490 BC. Pyramids were built from the beginning of the Old Kingdom to the Ptolemaic period during the 4th century AD, although the pinnacle of pyramid building began with the late 3rd dynasty of Egypt and continued around the 6th century AD. It is believed that the building of the pyramids required about 100,000 people, but archaeological evidence shows that it was actually 20,000 over the course of 20 years. Some versions of history suggest that they were built by slaves and foreigners forced into labor, but actually, skeletons found in the area show that workers were probably Egyptian agricultural workers who worked on the pyramids during the time when the Nile River flooded most of the land.
So when it comes down to who built the pyramids, it's a common misconception that slaves only built the pyramids, but that can't be entirely true because slaves didn't have the mathematical skills in order to help construct these pyramids. If you look at the pyramid's base, it's a perfectly square base, and slaves just didn't have that knowledge of how to read measuring rods and the correct 90-degree angle. They just didn't know that knowledge. So it was actually the people of Egypt and what we would consider a middle class. They were smart enough to read the measuring tools and actually help build the structure. So it wasn't entirely slaves, it was Egypt's own people. But who were the people of Egypt building this pyramid for? It was Pharaoh Khufu, who really believed that if he can build a pyramid and that pyramid would absorb the sun's rays, and when he died and was buried there, he would absorb the sun's rays and that would transform him into their sun god. I don't think that actually happened, but who knows? But that's what it was meant for. He really thought that if he could build a pyramid that would preserve the sun's light that it would transform him into the sun god. So for the how portion, we're only going to look at the pyramid's outside structure, which is just the foundation, corners, and the sides of the pyramid. So what's really cool about the Great Pyramid is that the points of it point to the cardinal direction, which is north, south, east, and west. But how did the Egyptians do this without a compass? The Egyptians did this by observing the polar stars. And they did this by creating a semicircle in which they noticed the polar stars, and they would observe them from when they first appeared in the sky all the way until when they actually lost sight of them, so when they set, I guess. And then that space in between of what they observed, they put a line down the middle. That measurement was north. And then they used that measurement as the first side of their pyramid. So you can see that this side was going to face north, and then they just went off from that first side. So the foundation of the pyramid is impressively accurate. It's extremely horizontal, and the question is, how did the Egyptians do this without any modern day tools? How did they make the foundation so horizontal? So this is the tool that archaeologists think that the Egyptians used in order to make their foundation so horizontal. It was made up of two pieces of wood that were put together to make a 90-degree angle, and the third piece of wood was in the center and was marked right in the center where you can see that little red part, and that mark helped signify what was horizontal to the ground. They tied a rope, and on the end of that rope was a ball. If the ball and rope were perfectly aligned with that little measurement, then the ground was horizontal. It was good to go. If the ball and the rope were not horizontal, if they weren't aligned, then that meant the foundation wasn't horizontal and adjustments needed to be made. Once the foundation was completely horizontal and strong enough, they went on to build the actual pyramid itself, and they used possible ramps. Now, we don't know exactly what kind of ramp, but here are the possible ramps that they used. So they could have used a ramp that went just straight up, which would have taken a lot longer. They could have used a ramp that went zigzag, so it's less work for their workers, but it does take a little longer as well. And then their other possible ramp is one that went completely around the pyramid. Now, we don't really know for sure, but ramps definitely had to be involved in help building the pyramid.
Hello, I'm Maddie, and so I'm going to be talking about the Egyptian pyramids. And so today, I'm going to talk about the location of the Egyptian pyramids. These are the pyramids of Giza, and if you notice that there's 3 distinct pyramids, 1, 2, 3, and if you notice that there's a lot of tombs back here, which means that there was a lot of pharaohs that were buried there. Next picture, there's more pyramids. This whole, the Egyptian pyramids are in Egypt, and I've noticed that in all of these pictures that the pyramids are located close to the Nile River or just any body of water. And they're also located near some of the cities. And I don't know if these are included, but some of these temples that are on the sides over here are also included in the pictures. They were built by the Egyptians, not necessarily Egyptian pyramids, but they were built by them. And if you notice, the Sphinx is right here.
located at the beginning of the three pyramids. And so I noticed that while researching the pyramids, that certain websites said that they only discovered like a few pyramids, and then there was some websites that said that they discovered hundreds of pyramids. So I was looking more into research, and some websites also said that that there was distinct groups of pyramids, but there was like a lot of pyramids within those distinct groups in different locations. So, and they were all located on the Nile River, near distinct like cities.
The fascination of pyramids survived long past their construction. Surprisingly, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the last remaining wonder of the ancient world. Today, we are still greatly interested in the pyramids and the secrets they might hold. As far as scientists know, little remains inside these pyramids except the mummies. Tomb robbers have stolen the pharaoh's buried treasures, but scientists still use infrared scanning and robots to try and uncover secrets from the pyramids. As recently as 2015, scientists found that there were thermal anomalies in the pyramid stones by using infrared thermography. Some stones have higher temperatures than others, no matter the time of day. Today, we still use architecture techniques from the pyramids to create buildings and statues. Just think of the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas, which even comes equipped with its own sphinx. Another great example is the Louvre Pyramid in Paris, which is a great piece of architecture. It is important to teach our students about the pyramids because they show an innovation that have stood the test of a long time. It shows that STEM was relevant 4,000 years ago and is still relevant today.